might not be going low enough on the side.
Estamos bonitos.
Sí.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Una avaliação, Hugo.
Wow, that's nice. Very nice. Tiene muchos buenos reviews.
Precisa
Are you using this?
No.
Sealer?
ir no último.
You got a sample of it?
Uma visão melhor.
Are these ours today?
I think so.
Yeah, they're ours.
So, once you got the scalp perfectly clean, if you put the sealer on, it's
Well,
actually,
yeah, we use something, a little dab or something, yeah, yeah.
It's
We don't really use it, it's
it's a
there.
scalp protector. and
Scalp protector,
antibacterial.
yeah, we have it, but we don't really use it, right?
So you got somebody who's not lasting 3 weeks or whatever you're trying to get them,
Mm-hmm.
make sure the scalp's totally clean, and then I'm gonna put this over it. First of all, antibacterial, no redness. He actually had a little redness around the edge here, even though it was a week or two. And it's all gone now? That's a fungus. That's not psoriasis or something like that. Usually, if it's a mild form of a fungus and it's just a little red, that's just a little bacteria building up there. Okay, so antibacterial. I mean, it's like you're putting this down and it's sealed for 3 weeks, it's gotta be sterile and clean. so.
Right.
And this is number one the girls skip all the time. You know, I'll find out. And then the other
You
thing
bought
is,
some snow sweat or something, you have
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, yeah.
we used to use skin prep.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the generic thing we used.
Okay, but this,
But-
you like this, right,
Yeah.
Keith?
Yeah, I just used the kit. So, we want that. Now, if he was somebody really oily, I might put this on now, cut his hair, and I'll spray another coat on. Some people have put 3 coats of it on. I let it dry during the process, I don't sit there and whip the blow dryer.
Right.
So it doesn't take me any more time. But that's just way more solid and sealed, and it helps. And some guys, if you do 1, they break it down in 2 weeks. If I do 2 or 3, they get to 3 weeks. So it's just a little something to your game. And then I just like the antibacterial part because,
Absolutely.
I mean, since we started using like the extreme products, we don't have that. I'm not saying nobody has a red scalp, but it's 75% of it's gone by using something to sterilize the scalp. Because most of it was fungus. Now, sometimes you have redness, it's dermatitis, they're allergic to something you put on, and that's always hard to figure out.
Okay. Now, we had
So did you come lower on my side, Keith?
Yes, he did.
He did, right?
A touch, right? I didn't go.
Somewhat.
And you know, when you put this on, you're gonna be left or right. You know, sometimes we got a little bit of hair. It's not the end of the world if you do that.
No, we don't do this, Keith.
Well, there's many different ways. How do you do
Not
it?
anymore.
No, she just puts it on, marks me with the white.
Oh, she's doing this march here? Cutting around it,
Well,
or?
this is what we need.
Well, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just. Some people do a tape mold, some do a plaster mold, some do tape.
Well, we only used to do a tape mold when we did a custom.
Right.
And then there's their easy caps, which I don't know if they brought up here, but there's all these molds.
Okay, this is cool, I like this.
So, a lot of times, easy caps 7x9, front shape number 1 or 2,
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah.
you can just put, you don't even need, just write down that's the mold, you pull it out, and that's when you cut it to. Or, for custom ordering, you're gonna get your hair a lot quicker if you got an easy cap.
Yeah, I have the easy mold and it works
Yeah.
great. I label them in the back. There's a
You
number.
use these,
Yes, and I put color coded.
but this.
So for the shape, and it works
System didn't
perfect.
come up with this, no, this right here, the system, yeah, look at this.
This is what it comes with from the factory, okay?
But they don't ship it with that.
Yeah, they do.
Karen, they don't ship our system with this, do they? Oh, it comes with that?
Keep the shape, in other words, that's.
But the Easy Caps have a shape to them, they're already cut out.
It has a contour.
So ask one of them later, like, to show you those Easy Caps if you're interested
Okay, can I
I
interject?
just thought they don't come with this
Now,
plastic.
what are you cutting up?
in it. It's not fitting his head, so I can make a mold, so I'm taking a little bit of this off the edge,
Oh.
because this is way bigger.
Okay, I'm gonna come out there and talk with it.
Are you sure we get these plastic things with the system?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you for a fact, I know you do. Okay?
Wait, 1 second. We do.
Okay. And the reason why I'm gonna tell you you do, because I send you a unit, these are units that I've written out of inventory, so these are older units.
Oh, I see it.
You get a unit package like this. Send it back to me like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna charge you $25 to repack it. You take the tag,
Hold
and you
on.
rip it off, you wash the system, it comes back to me,
No good,
looking like this.
no good.
I can't sell it to somebody, I'm gonna send it back to you. Okay, so,
We know that.
but that's the biggest thing that I go through.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but it hasn't been cut. Well, you cut the tag off. If it's like this, a lot of times I do crocheting, so I can take one of my needles and save you by poking a needle hole and tying it. But when you take scissors and,
Cut it right off.
I like the part where they cut the lace off the front and go, I haven't cut it.
Karen, here, you take this now, this is important. What he's doing, we don't do it.
But again, this is just one technique, it's not like everyone has to do it the same.
He was talking about that's okay, but the Easy Cap, which you have the actual contour.
So anyway,
I
for the
use it all the
proportion.
time, it's great.
I want to be, see where this comes here, then I want to come up here.
Slide next to you, Karen.
It might be in the,
you go.
underneath the
So-
table.
Slide over and grab this for you. You sit down right there. No, you go. You
So
go.
equal,
What a gentleman.
Don't tell
Equal.
anybody.
equal is gonna look proportion. Now, I told you I have that little flap down here. Equal was all off, so that's why I had to have that little, I had to have some air added right here, because this was too deep back here. 'Cause some people, when they recede, this goes back to them.
Keith, can I get you to start that over? I'm sorry. Repeat what you were saying
roll.
about this part. I was trying to be a gentleman. I'm sorry.
And he was a
When we do a TV commercial, it's like rolling.
There you go.
So are we rolling?
Rolling.
Okay. So, to make it proportionate, we wanna go, he's like 2 1/4 to this peak here. I go up to where that hair is 2 1/4. I'm gonna roll it over, and that's where I wanna do my front.
Gotcha.
Do you need a grease pencil? I put some up there for you.
Not yet. Okay? And other people used to do the old 4 fingers.
Right, right.
3 fingers. Well, some people have fat fingers and
I
some
do
people
3.
have skinny fingers.
Well, he changes his fingers every time he puts them up.
Yeah.
You do.
And then the other thing is, look at this ridge here. Where this
You use
starts,
that one?
where this starts down, anybody that has it down in there, that is not gonna wanna lay, and it's not gonna look natural. You wanna be up on this, right here where it starts down. That's gonna be your better thing. And then I don't mind it there, but I wanna bring it up a little bit. I'll take my comb and redo that. And the other thing about a front hairline, it don't have to be perfect and symmetrical, because nobody's is, right?
Right.
If we just make it all perfect like this, some people it comes a little here, there's a peak here, it dives in here, it's thinner there. That's gonna look more natural than something that's too perfect. And then the back part, I just know where you had it before, I can just follow that.
Cool.
What I like about this is that these are like much more durable than the tape. So I can just leave this in their box, and every time they get a new one, once I
Wow.
have it, I just can,
Make sure I take
Yeah.
that to take home with me.
and cost you.
Okay, all right. I figured. But you said there's caps you can buy?
Right, easy cap. And actually, if you're first starting out,
show them to you.
Okay.
if you're first starting out, it's hard sometimes to draw front hairlines. They're all made for you. So then you just have it. And even if you didn't want to use the easy cap, you could lay the easy cap on top and draw that kind of front you want and trace it. So that's a good way to do it if you're not familiar. Because that's probably the hardest thing sometimes when you haven't had a lot of experience. It's like, how am I gonna
So
make the mold?
I should start mine off with the easy caps.
I think about it, yeah. Are you guys selling customs or stocks or you guys doing?
We get everything through here. So if
Mostly stock probably?
yeah, the guys that are coming in, they'll come in looking like the George Washingtons, and they'll come out custom.
So you're using pre-custom and customizing it, which is what Keith is doing.
So, you
Yeah,
know,
I don't really tell people custom or I just get them hair.
and mind you, you
And
know,
if I have to make it at the factory, I just tell them it's gonna take a while and don't,
But most of your stocks.
yeah. I don't,
so I'm also learning the language too. So you know, custom, all this other, you know,
yeah. Some.
Kinda
only
get
time
the
I go
general
custom
idea.
Is, it doesn't fit his head.
right?
I got a bubble. He wants 40% gray, 20 back here. I have to go custom because they're kind of uniform.
Right.
So if it doesn't fit the head or it's a gray problem, otherwise
IKEA
stock
is
is
online,
always what I use.
IKEA.com.
And even in the grays, I try and stick to stock gray.
When I started wearing a hair system back home, there's this guy, Joe Danini. He had one of the first to come out with hair systems. He had a beautiful, beautiful shop and everything. Then he ran off with a lot of money, moved to Florida, was doing it in Florida, then came back. But I never forget it. So I'm calling all over the place, and everybody wants 8 or 9 weeks before you get this system on your head. So I call him, he goes, I got connections. I'll see you in a week or so. Well, it was a stock unit he put on my head, and it was the first I ever, within 3 days, he was using a bonding or something. Within 3 days, it was coming off. Now, I'm panicking because I never, wear hair, and I got to do meetings and things like that. But it was a stock unit. But he was saying, oh yeah, I have connections. I can get a custom for you in a week.
Like mafia connections or
Yeah.
other stuff, yeah. Yeah, the friend of a friend.
But that's the problem. It's custom. It takes how long, Debbie?
Depends on what time of year it is. And
Yeah,
it
right,
depends on
New
the
Year's,
hair.
yeah.
It runs about 7 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
There's
But
no
you better be, I ordered one for me in November, I still don't have it.
Key.
So you
Wow.
better be prepared
Keith.
for that. Thank you.
Now, do you know why he doesn't have it? Because
Why?
Keith didn't read our email that says if you want this before Christmas, order it by September 15th. So we're punishing Keith.
You didn't get it yet?
No.
Did you put a rush on it?
Yeah, I'll rush it right to the factory. I'm kidding, Keith knows I am. But the other thing is the hair type, the hair density, the hair length. I mean, I got this one lady that wants a unit within 2 weeks, but she wants me to get her 22-inch hair. I mean, hello? I'm gonna tell you guys right now, there's no such thing as a rush. I don't care if you're ordering short hair or long hair. It's not like it used to be.
They used to say you put extra money and they'll rush it.
It used to be that you could.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, because of the fact that the way that the economy in China has changed, you can go and you can ventilate hair. I'm gonna make up some numbers for $5 an hour. Or I can go put a Motorola cell phone together for $5 an hour. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go put the cell phone together because it's easier on my eyes. So, but I mean, so you have to pay the workers more, which helps sends up the price. But there is no such thing as a rush anymore.
You're still adjusting it, Keith?
Yep.
He wants it to be perfect.
I'm not doing this for you.
Huh?
I'm not doing this for you.
Well, we're gonna give this to
Too
you.
much trouble.
I'm gonna sell this to you.
I'm not
And you don't
buying
have
it. I'm not buying
buying
it. Sorry.
Well, you can pick it up in the garbage when we're done. Then you
Then it's for free.
Or you might find, you know what, it's a touch long, or I need a little bit
Did you
more.
bring your adhesive from?
I think we did. It's over there. Okay? Sometimes when I have to watch when I'm doing this, there's a little bubble here. So if I cut it exact, it's gonna, that's why I've been trimming a little bit, because it's going to, you know, did you have his old one? Do we have that?
Yes.
Where did it go? Did we bring it up?
It might be in the windowsill downstairs.
No.
No, we brought it up. But sometimes what I like to do, if I knew that was too big or too small, I can just lay it in and look if it's at least in the ballpark.
I had styrofoam heads on the table, where'd they go? Oh.
There you go.
Oh, they're back there. Do you want a styrofoam head or a canvas head?
It doesn't matter for this.
It's
I just want to look at it.
sticky.
Yeah. And if I get a little on this, I'll wash it off with alcohol next time. Okay, so actually, this gives me an idea from this. See, he had more in here and a little bit on the edges. I think we were overlapping a lot of hair on the edges, so
Huh, okay,
that's where I went to.
okay.
But this will be different here. See, it'd still be as long, but it's not gonna be quite as far out here. And actually, it will be a little farther, because I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna scallop this, so there will be some of this out here too. So it won't be quite as short.
Well, I remember, it's always important here too, with this one side when you're cutting. That's what, years ago, when we used to come to Generals, I forget what he was saying. Be careful here on the one, when cutting it in. I can't remember at the time. What am I trying to say, Keith?
I don't know.
Oh,
Well, I used to say that the hair, I know that General used to say that be careful on the hairline because it's the very important thing that it's gonna be either detectable or undetectable, but he hasn't been around for a while.
all right, honey.
Jimmy had a nice technique, which is somewhat similar to mine, but he always did this horseshoe around the edges.
Yes.
And that's how he gave his feather in.
All right, do you recommend, somebody told us, don't cut the hair first, put the system on and cut the hair with the system on, but she does it the way you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess what does it look like after?
There's no right or wrong?
The people I see that cut it after, they don't give you a nice layered haircut. This long stringy stuff comes down because they're afraid to get into the,
Okay.
yeah.
He's questioning you every step of the way.
That's all right.
About that.
But you get all this information and you have YouTube and somebody
And I
did
didn't
this.
have anybody, was I telling you,
Yeah.
when I started, the girl
When
quit?
we bought your
Yeah.
So I
video,
had to,
we had a girl, we let her watch the video.
That's him. He's on the video, not me.
No.
Keep looking in the mirror.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. Was that you then on the video?
Yes,
Oh, it was?
Keith and Ricky. Where he had to wear what color shirt?
It was like gold. I look like a blackjack dealer, I think.
He told me when we redo the videos, he says, no gold shirt. I didn't pick the shirt, Keith, because I want to redo
Weren't
them.
you saying the scissors should go down with them sometimes with your cuttings? Was that you?
I don't know.
Yes, that was you, Keith, when you're talking about cutting vertical and horizontally.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I watched those videos.
I haven't watched them in years.
now, I've been cutting hair for 37 years and have never cut down. I always cut up
Is that right or
because
wrong?
when you're,
What she's saying?
wait a minute. Because when I feel when you're cutting up this, what you're actually beveling so that the longer it lays down properly, as opposed to, anybody listening?
Yes, we are
Yep.
listening.
So what does she write around?
Oh, yeah, it raises up too.
Well, just being up here is gonna help.
Now, he's gonna be trimming the base. And he's gonna be using this.
Yeah, we have them. We love them.
We
Smart
have them.
tool.
We love them.
What's it called?
Smart tool.
Love them.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it, love it.
You don't mess the hair.
It cuts the material, but it doesn't.
Right,
cut-
it has a little piece here that pushes the hair up out of the way.
Oh, how cool. You sell those here?
Yes, I do.
Hand me that one, that head. Sometimes when you're going to make a mold,
Oh, you don't want?
this is very flat.
Do you want the canvas head? I got those too.
No, that has a better shape to it. See the shape versus that? This was like bubbling up on top, so we actually have all kinds of mannequins.
And he prefers these, cause
I
I
love
hear
them.
it all the time.
Do you
I
sell
have
these?
those, I
Yes, I
take the
do.
hair off and I use it for cleaning units, I use it for coloring, for
Yeah,
everything.
it's got the, it's more close to the
And I can
shape
put
of people's
pins through
heads.
I think I
Sell
have,
with the
Right.
hair on? Do they sell with the hair on?
Yeah.
just like you see there.
Mine has a beautiful fade though, I faded it up.
Would you come ours
Yeah.
if you get one?
Sure. Cause you'll go nuts with all that hair every time.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of
Why
pre-cuts.
exactly do they keep that
That's
hair
what she
on it?
complains about is all the
Because
hair.
I have to use it for training purposes, so I need a certain hair length for people. These type of mannequins are used for training, so this way they can do a blended haircut for people that, you know, even schools.
Yep.
Hair extensions, we have it with full hair, so they can add extensions, so they're training
Oh,
heads.
okay.
They're not what Keith is using them for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we
No,
color
that-
on them, we highlight on, they're just
He
perfect.
prefers
Well,
it
I,
better.
I have the naked head and,
I mean, you do the canvas and
Yeah.
color everywhere. But I like it for the cut-ins, cause I can put one on, it has this shape, and when I do my cut-in, it's more, or some of the heads are small or flat, it changes my
Right,
angle from the
right.
haircut.
Now, he's using
To
T
get one of
pens, he's using T pens to,
Yeah, hold it in place. right?
right, but here's the thing, I wanna tell you, I get a lot of calls for T pens, I do not sell them because you can go and get a 250 for like $4 or $5 from Walmart.
or Joanne's, Joanne Fabric.
Yes,
I'll tell you what, we quit
and just
using,
download a coupon to your phone and get 50% off.
quit using T-pens. I'm okay, cause I'm going through this plastic, you put a T-pen in here, and that little loop there gets caught, Matt, you just wrecked it. So we just get the little poster pins, and that can get, for $5 you can get a
I mean, those
thousand.
look like
Right,
different
right.
colors.
Push
Little
pens,
round
they're
tips.
called
Yeah, the
push
round
pens.
ones, yeah.
Well, if I'd have known that, I had a whole bunch of those, I had to go scrounging for
Oh.
T pens, next time I'll just bring you
Wow.
up some push pens.
Got that, honey? Little round ones?
Yeah.
So the sewing pins, the one that, yeah.
No, he's
No.
talking about
No, post,
cardboard.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just a
Bulletin
pin with a
board
little
pens.
piece of plastic on there.
sometimes they're
So
colored.
I'm like,
Thumbtacks.
well, they're not thumbtacks, they're called
No.
push pens because thumbtack is flat on the end.
Right.
A push pen has, like, I got one that looks like a
Like,
pill,
yeah.
yeah. And the thing of it is, I was scrounging all over looking for T pens, and if he would've told me that, I had to just went to my desk drawer and opened it up and took a whole bunch of push
Yeah.
pens and, no, they're push pens, those are T pens. They're called push pens, actually.
Okay, so, I don't know if you guys saw.
I'm glad
but I
you
did-
told me that because we have
Scissors. Thank you.
three T-pins, that's all. And I must have 500 in a little box, the
Push
push
pens.
pins,
There you
yes.
go.
So this is it, we learned something, if you can learn
Want these?
one or
One
two
thing, I'm
things
thrilled to
go
death.
home,
I'm
you've
thrilled to
learned
death.
a lot. What are you thinking, Rodney?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm watching.
Is this, are you absorbing, learning some stuff?
I mean, you know, it's a little bit of information overload, but
don't have
that's why I got the
to.
video, so I'm
don't.
okay.
You know what I
Yep.
do? I just push my scissors against the material so it doesn't cut the hair. So I'm very anal with that. But yes, I have gotten people that come from other places and the hair's cut right across. You know, like, oh my God, they cut the material and the hair. I want to see how it
Well, with
works.
these
So it
scissors,
varies. Really, mine, they changed the model a little bit. I use them a lot on the next gen skin when I'm going around,
you can use these to cut right on the head.
okay? When I do this, 9 times out of 10, I use a razor. And the other thing is, I'm gonna use this to demonstrate it, but in the front, I'm gonna use a razor, because I'm not gonna cut this straight. I'm gonna scallop it,
Good,
okay?
makes sense.
So we'll make a better hairline that way.
Does anybody need to see the shears up close?
No, we have them. They're fabulous.
So, do a lot of you like make your marks around here, and then try and go around and follow your line?
Mm-hmm.
If I put this on here like this, I'm just putting it against the poly. Okay, which you already did for your line you're drawing,
Yes.
but here's the thing, you will have no marker, and it will never be too small, because you can't cut inside of here. And
Right.
if it's too big, you can
Right,
adjust it.
right.
Too small is a problem.
So you say you always cut what?
I leave this right on here and I just cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have, I have some people who've been with me a long time, they just can't do it, they'll do the mark. I'm not saying, but if you have new people, they will never make a mistake. They'll never call you back, oh, my system's too small.
Right.
Could be too big, but it's not gonna be too small.
Right.
And this is really kinda like a razor, cause I don't really saw, I just keep pushing this thing.
You do. If you hold it just the right way, you can just slice right through
This is
that.
just slicing, that's not even,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So,
Do like the razor.
I don't like I made a mistake. Like, as soon as I started working for him, I made a mistake and I cried. It made me cry. And I was like, I'm never using a razor
well, I think
again.
sometimes something goes wrong and we give up on things. That's how we learn, you know.
Well, thank
that's,
God it was a really nice guy. And he
Yeah.
was like, don't cry. My boss go, don't cry, Karen.
But here's the
don't cry."
thing I'll do is I'll have them practice, I'll have my girls practice. I've always got a scrap, we got an extra piece, whatever, I'll have them practice. And I
Well,
also
I was the
know,
only one
I
that-
also know as long as they leave this on, they're never gonna make a mistake.
Right.
If they dig too deep, did you like cut some hair? Is that
Yes,
what's your problem?
Yes.
So think of it like this, if I have this, I am just using this tip, and it's like I have a pencil, and I'm just drawing it, just like I would, okay? So now I said here, I wanna scallop it. So think about, you all seen a Poly 2 or GM6, and they have, on the Poly, it's scalloped. So it's like this.
Yes, right.
Okay, and again, I don't care if it's perfect. If it's different, it's different, right? So I go into the base, and then I just draw out, and I go back in, it stops it, and I go back out,
Just scallop it, right?
scallop it. So see what's starting to happen?
Huh. They had scallop scissors that I used to try.
Those
that
didn't
out.
work good. That was too
Oh,
perfect.
okay.
Worked
So
terrible.
you're,
Remember that?
oh, okay.
Okay? And then people worry, oh, yours are bigger, mine are smaller. Doesn't
Doesn't
And
matter.
you
matter.
could do that on a front of my systems. I tried that, right, Karen?
No.
The first time you do it, you probably have a scrap of something. Just go ahead and practice.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna make a mistake. Worst thing, you're gonna make it straight. But if you have this on here, it's not gonna be too small.
Okay.
The other thing is if you're buying scallop shears at the store, you have to be careful that you're getting them in the fabric section and not the scrapbooking section, because one's made to cut material and one's made to cut paper, and it is a very
Right.
big
Oh,
difference,
yeah.
because
So it's
a
going,
lot of
you're
people
going
think,
up
oh,
and
well,
then down.
clothing,
Is that what you're
I can't
doing?
get it.
Yeah.
You can't.
I know what he's doing.
You know it?
I'm going out.
I know what he's doing. You don't need to know.
That's right, it's a trade secret.
You got that, honey?
Okay, and then this part here, where you were probably just doing a straight line before?
Yes. Yes.
So just think of this as, I know this is, I don't know if you're seeing it, I'm trying to do it at an odd angle. I gotta go a little this way. Okay, so this, very lightly, I'm just using the very tip, like I'm using it like the tip of a pencil. And actually, the more you pull out here, the more it just comes off nice and easy. Because if you don't have that, then you're going to be sawing at it, and it's hard to do it.
Wow.
Later today, we will be playing with the Quantum 6, so if you wanna try this scallop technique, now is the time with Keith to watch it.
Good, good.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you. This is a great trick. You could actually do it yourself if you want that. So here's the thing. So that's scallop, right?
Yes.
If I want an even better hairline, I'm going to rip this all up, because even the scallops have a sharp line. So this is the one time I do use a T-pin. I'm going to go in here 2 or 3 deep, and I'm just going to start ripping this up. And it's just going to soften it up even more. See that? Looks like it's a month old, right?
Yes.
Looks like you got the lace gun in there and blew it apart.
There was a thing that people used for dog groomers, and it had a bunch of them. It was that wide, and there was these little pins on them like that. At one of the hair shows, the general used that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. This,
Wow.
you know, you guys talked about the lace gun before. You use the lace gun on this, you'll find his hair system's going to get shorter and shorter, because it just frays it all off. So I tend not to use that lace gun on this Swiss lace. It's too fragile.
No, I don't like to do it on that.
Yeah.
I
Taping
feel
it.
like it's blasting it away.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It's actually, people would come in and complain, my system's falling apart, right? So you actually show them, then they'll never complain when it frays later either, see? Somewhere in here we got a little screwed up when we did these tags can be a pain to cut through sometimes.
You know, I normally take the tags out because there are clients that think that they could be smarter than you do.
Sure.
And they go online and they
Yeah.
look for the number. Oh, so-and-so has the same
But
thing
they
as
can't
you.
buy from here because you got to have your license. You
No,
gotta-
but they
Can
are
I
up.
say something to you?
Uh-huh.
That number in the back is not a model number.
You know, but I have some clients that they just go immediately flip it and start looking on you
They're
know.
not gonna find it. The
They're-
number that you're seeing in the back,
Uh-huh.
without me even getting up and looking at the unit, he's in an 8000 series.
It's
What does the tag say, Keith?
the numbers.
I don't know, we cut it in half, it says color 5R, the other half is
Okay,
somewhere
so
else.
it's going- it's going.
there's a
She's got it.
PO number,
Yeah, it's
which is
going,
an
right? The time.
8463 with the color. That tells me how old
Right.
the unit is.
Yes.
So
We
if
got
you
you.
send me back
We
something
know
for
it.
6,900, I'll tell you you bought that 3 years ago. That's
Smart.
my age of the unit.
That's awesome.
That's not, they can't find that online. That's just a PO number, purchase order number.
That's great. Yeah.
To
So I
read
said,
the
well,
Bible?
you know, so and so
Remember
has
Job?
this for. And I'm like, okay, go to them.
I mean, the only thing that we do is we put the color in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always take and cut the color off and leave your PO number this way. And the other thing is you look at it that it's a serial number. Like I had one lady, and this is the truth, she finally messed up. She was going to this one studio in Chicago, Illinois, getting her hair done. And then she'd say, oh, this is falling apart, and go to this other studio with their hair. So she was going between the two studios complaining and saying that it's falling apart. And then she somehow took the custom from this one and had it on her hair and went to this one, and I'm going, so why should I warranty this unit? She didn't buy it from you. She goes, yes, she did. I said, no, she didn't. She bought it from this one. I said, she's playing you both. So she had been getting free hair before I caught it for almost 8 months.
Oh God.
She says, I've been remaking her a system every other month. And I said, that's because she's doing this.
Yeah, some clients try to.
There's a will, there's a way. People will figure it out always, right?
Are you know?
Well, now she has a problem because they break down you should, and that's a good thing because
You
it's
like the
also,
extreme bonding?
when you're
You like
taking
that
the
bonding?
tag off, They
tried
can
Ghost
also
Spawn,
go
all that
somewhere
other
else and
stuff.
have their
They
hair
like
done.
I've had all the others.
Like I had one lady say, this is your hair
This
unit."
is
I
much
said,
easier
"No."
than
she
the
likes
Ghost
these
Bond.
So that's also a thing that you know that we have a PO number.
You know, again,
So if it
everyone's
comes
different.
back with a
Sometimes I
different
do
number, I
find
can say,
one
"That's
that
not my
works for
unit."
someone else.
That's great.
when I'm
I
having
mean, I
problems
just
with that.
had Friday.
It's the one that works most.
Client sent a picture, she said the unit's falling apart, they just installed it on the guy, and I went and said, "That's not my unit." They called me over to look at the picture, one of the sales rep, and I said, "That's not my unit." So, and I says, "And it doesn't have this," and I started naming some stuff the way that I won't go into everything, that I can tell whether it's mine or somebody else's. So, the PO in the back is nothing really to worry about. It's if they put the name of the model, then you worry.
Oh.
I mean, you can always call
Okay,
it
so if
black
you
out
wanna-
color.
Right, yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to figure out where you're putting the adhesive all the way to the front. Yeah. Some
Yeah,
people
with the
use a
comb.
grease pencil, I
Yeah.
don't do that.
She does.
And when you
There's
replace
nothing wrong
the
with it,
unit,
Yeah,
take a razor blade, because they will take it out in the garbage can. Oh, I've seen it. Take and hold the unit up and go with the razor blade, then put the garbage can right in front of them when you're putting it
yeah.
on.
Well, we still know
That's
why
where my
they're
reason
doing
Now I don't have to get rid of that spot.
And try to service it them themselves.
Okay.
Right, right.
So Keith, you don't use lace front tape? You, I'm asking.
Myself
I'm just
personally,
telling you what I've
No,
done.
no,
Because I wanna try this, that's
Why,
where
you
you're.
take,
But make sure
you
you
take
grab
the
it
extreme
Yeah, right
right to the
to-
front.
Yeah, then I have to
Ah.
call her in and say, change my tape.
Yeah, let's do that.
Defective, you're
Yeah.
like, oh no, what do I do now? I tell
Okay, so
people
here's
that
the
once you install the new one, if you're.
People like,
you know, you can keep that
everybody
in
here,
the back
gas.
room, but you need
Why
to
using
take
four
it out of
coats?
the room where they can't take and lift them. Don't
because you're
let
probably
them
using
garbage
two
can.
heavier coats,
Yeah.
okay? So
Okay.
when this goes on, it is,
Even me, when the units are old and the poly.
it should
crack,
almost
I
disappear
still just
by the
use
time I
something
put that
to
on.
use
You
it
see
when
that?
I'm in
Yes.
camera.
If you have a big
I
glob
really
like
use it.
this and you're drying it, you got too much on.
Yeah, they'll go garbage dump.
Yeah,
Less
what
is
I
better.
normally do with the pieces that,
Less is
like for
more.
example, what he just cut, I save those pieces because sometimes they climb on one bangs, and I just made myself another $200.
Oh, yeah, I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about the ones.
Oh, the used ones, the used ones.
Oh, no, I tell people all the time
Will
to
you-
save those.
You know, I notice with my tape, every couple of days I can see a
anything
little
that's not
black in
used, I
there.
save.
Yes, I hate
You know,
that.
and it's-
Well, it's
it's
breaking
right
down,
on the date.
and then it's grabbing every piece of
So
dirt
you
in the
can line it up
environment.
by color
Okay.
and date.
Yeah.
That
So-
can happen,
That's a great
could
idea.
happen,
Because
you know.
what happens is when
But
you're
that's
on there, even
what
if
happened
it's
with using
dry
this on the
and
front.
old and start cracking,
When you tried it
so
once,
you wanna use your oldest.
How do you
first.
protect
No, he's saying
your,
if-
like you were
if we do
saying
the
upstairs,
four
you know,
layers,
that
Yeah.
Is it gonna
units
do
and
the
even
same thing?
tape
Is it gonna
gets-
collect
gets
there?
old.
maybe.
How do you protect, is there a?
Mine usually
system
doesn't
that
collect. Sometimes in the
humidifier or
summer, I have a cabin up
dehumidifier that you
north.
use to
Okay.
keep
In the
your-
dust
your-
and dirt, I sweat it a lot, I got a line. Most of the time I don't.
And
He
stuff like that.
sweats a lot.
You know,
Yeah.
like you noticed that he didn't have anything
Okay.
See
laying
where you
around, it
put
was
that.
put away. So
You
it's
didn't
in
bring it down
containers
into
and
the
bags
hair.
and
Well, I cut it to there, I checked my mold. If you wanna just touch a little here, you can.
Oh,
Then,
okay.
You know, if we're this way or that way, or we missed a little, there might be a little loose piece. He can do it a day or two later, or weekend, and we can just put a little in there.
But you bring it down
And
into
just-
the hair?
And
Not
just
much.
that, no, and just that little dab.
Well, we're gonna put four coats of little dabs.
Ah,
But see, a lot of people say, take their dryer and start drying this.
No good, I-
It's already clear.
Mhm.
So that's the proper amount.
even-
That's the proper
even in
amount.
here, just keep them in a cool, dry place, right?
And I tell people that for your hair can oxidize just from these lights and stuff, so I tell people that,
Yeah, I'd
if you
say.
have clients
Some
and you
people
have stuff.
bigger head or
like I